Okay, so once again, welcome back to lecture one, guys. And in this lecture, I'll be talking about Chroma DB. So Chroma DB is one of the another vector database where you can try to store a vector and then you can try to perform update, search, insert, all kind of operations that you can expect from any other vector database. So I'll be doing all of this operation in my local system. So let me share my screen and let me go to a code part. So here new file chroma db.ipynb I'm going to create. Now inside this I'll be like doing all the operations. So let me select my kernel in a very first place, and then in a very first section you have to do the installation. Yeah, you have to do the installation. So here I can try to call pip install install chroma db. So Chroma DB, and yeah, so it is going to like install. So requirement all satisfied because in my system it's already installed, and in your system, so eventually it is going to do the installation. Once we are able to do the installation, then try to call import chroma db. So import Chroma DB chroma DB and no module called as Chroma DB. Let me check. The spelling is correct, it seems, but if there is an issue, I'll try to fix it. Okay, so it worked. Basically, I have just changed my kernel and I have just downgraded my Python to 3.10, and now it's working. So I'm able to see my Chroma DB over here. As you can see, like our version is 1.0.7. And I am able to do the import with respect to the Chroma DB. So very simple, just go ahead with the Python 3.10 safe and secure way. Now, so once we are able to import this Chroma DB, so I can try to maybe import a couple of more things, Chroma DB dot utils, and then try to import embedding function. Yeah, so these two imports that we have to do from a Chroma DB. Now what we are supposed to do? So we are supposed to take embedding APIs so that I will be able to convert my data into a embedding. So just go to a Euron and inside a URI code example, and you will be able to see inside a Python function. So you will be able to see a text embedding and similarity. So just I try to copy this one. Just you need this particular piece of the code, and even my previous lecture, so I have already talked about it. So here, remove this part. So this is going to take input as a text, as you can see. And here you have to replace a static with your own API key. So from where you will be able to get your own API key, go to authentication, click over here. And then from here, so you will be able to get your own API token. So now just replace this with your own API token, as simple as that. And here, so I'm trying to use a model provided by OpenAI itself, which is going to give you a vector of dimension 1536, as simple as that. Okay. So this is a generate embedding function. Input wise, it is going to take a text, and output wise, it is going to give you the vector with a dimension 1536 for a respective text. Execute it, and wherever it will be required, I'm going to call this generate embedding function, as simple as that. Okay. Now, so here embedding function is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Chroma DB dot, I'm going to create a client for the Chroma DB, and it's a starting point, basically CLIENT client. So let's try to create a client object, and after creating a client object, I can try to call this client, and via client I can try to do anything that I want with respect to the Chroma DB. So it's basically like an entry point, you can say. So here there is a function called as create collection. So I can try to create a collection, means like indexes that we were trying to create in case of a Facebook AI similarity search. So here I'm going to create a collection, so where I can try to store all my embeddings. So here I can try to give a collection name, and the data set which I'm going to take is with respect to my own journey. So Sudhanshu underscore JOURNEY, Sudhanshu journey. So this is the collection name which I am going to create. So this client is going to eventually create this collection, and let's try to store it into a variable called as COLLECTION collection variable. Okay. So collection has been created, right? Collection has been created, and the collection name is basically Sudhanshu journey. Now data set. So same data set I'm going to consider. So here is my text data, and 10 such data I have considered over here with respect to me, right? So this is a list of the string. Inside that we have 10 lines. So this is a data set which I'm going to consider. Now, once I have this data, so I have to convert this data into a respective embeddings. Yeah. So I have to convert this data into a respective embeddings, and that embedding I'm going to insert inside my Chroma DB. And on top of that, I will be doing all the operations, search operations, right? So to convert this data into its respective embeddings, a function is available to me, a generate embedding function. So I just have to iterate over to this data one by one. So I can try to write for I in this text data. So this text data that I have. So one by one, just try to go through this text data. Let me write down into a list comprehension way. And for all the I, just try to call generate embedding function. So just try to call this generate embedding function. So generate embedding function and try to pass I. Yeah. So try to pass I. So for every I, keep on doing this, and then try to convert that into list finally. Fine. I will convert that into a list. So this is going to generate my embeddings by using a URI API key, and every data size or embedding size is going to be 1536, means vector size is going to be 1536 over here. So EMBEDDINGS embeddings. Okay, that's cool. And now it has started calling the API and it started creating the embeddings for me. It will take some time, and then it will be able to convert the whole data into an embeddings. Okay, so this process is done, it seems, and now I have the embedding, so I can go and I can try to check out this embeddings. So as you can see here, we have embeddings for all of these data one by one. I can try to even check that embedding at 0th place, right? Embedding at a 0th place as is this one, right? And what is the size of this? What is the length of this? I can try to even check the length. So length should be 1536, obviously, right? 1536. So yeah, embeddings I'm able to generate for all the 10 records. Now, once I'm able to generate the embeddings, I can try to insert those embeddings into my Chroma DB, right? Which is running in my local system. So collection I have already created. So inside this collection, I'll try to insert all of these embeddings. Let's do it. Yeah. So I'll try to insert the collection as well as I'll try to insert this entire textual information as well altogether. So here, what I can do, I can try to call my collection, and then I can try to call add. And inside this, I can try to add it. So documents wise, there is a parameter called as document. So document means all the text information. And then embeddings wise. So try to store all the embeddings, this one that we have created. And then you can try to even assign the IDs over here. So IDs are nothing but, so maybe we can try to give like a particular ID, right, to all of this one. Well, maybe like a record 0, then record 1, record 2, record 3, and so on. So this kind of IDs we can try to give. So maybe we can try to write our own custom functions which will be able to generate the IDs. For I in a range of, I can write maybe a length of the text. Yeah. So this is going to give me 0 to 10, and I'm going to take that as a IDs, by the way. I'm going to take, so take a formatted string and then give a name record underscore I. Yeah, I. So whatever I that we will be able to get. So record 1, 2, 3, 4. In this way, I'm going to give the IDs. You can try to give IDs in your way. That's completely fine. So this is not a hard and fast. I'm just giving record 0, then record 1, then record 2, record 3. In this way, I'm just trying to give the name over here. Call it. Yeah. So collection.add. So all the collection is added now. Yes, all the collection is added now. Now I can try to call this collection and I can try to do some sort of a cross check. So collection.count now. So count is 10, means inside this collection 10 record is been inserted. Yeah, collection 10 record is been inserted. I can try to even call collection.get. So get means it is going to show me record 0, 1, 2, 3, all the IDs it is trying to show me. Embedding it will not show, unless I'm not looking for it. And then this is the document, right? So include a metadata document, data none, metadata none. So metadata I have not inserted. In a later stage, I'm going to show you that you can try to insert some sort of a meta information as well, whatever meta information that you are looking for. But yeah, as of now, successfully it is able to insert all the record. This is what I'm able to see inside this get record. Okay, that's cool. Now, so here I'm able to insert some record inside this collection, which is basically a Chroma DB based collection. Now I have to do a query, let's suppose, right? The very first part is query. How I will be able to do a query? So here, if I have to do a query, for example, query is who is Sudhanshu. This is my query. Now for that, it should give me like all the matching sentences. Yeah, all the matching one. So based on like who is Sudhanshu. So here, right? So here, or maybe like Sudhanshu worked at Wipro, let's suppose. Yeah. So with respect to this, it should give me all the results. So whatever result is going to match, it should give me the result. Now, so for this query, first of all, I have to convert this query into what? So first of all, I have to convert this query into an embedding. So I can try to use same function, and then I can try to pass a query over here, query, query over here, and then eventually to list, just to make it compatible. So to list, so here this is going to give me query, query, embeddings. Yeah, query embeddings. Fine. So this is going to be my query embeddings, by the way. Now, if I'm going to show you 1536 query embeddings, this is the query embeddings that I'm able to get. Okay, that's cool. So once I'm able to get the query embeddings, I can try to call my collection, COLL collection, and then last time I have added everything, right? This time I'm going to call query. So this time I'm trying to query my collection, and query wise, right? So query wise, I'm going to pass query embeddings over here. Yeah, query embeddings. And what is my query embedding? So query embedding basically is my this one. So the embedding that I have already created. So this is something which I am trying to pass inside this one, query embeddings. And then I can even mention that number of results. So give me top 2 result. This is what it means, top K result, top 2 result, right? So this is going to give you the result. Yeah, this is going to give you a result. Maybe I can try to print this particular result over here. So this is the result. So to record 4 and record 3 is the nearest one ID wise. It is trying to give me embeddings done document. So yeah, document. So he worked at Wipro, Deloitte, Verizon Labs, and Ernst & Young. So this was the first nearest matching sentence with respect to my query. What? Sudhanshu worked at Wipro, right? So this is the first nearest one, and then the second nearest one that it is able to find out. So Sudhanshu earned a computer science and engineering degree. So this is the second nearest one that it is able to find out. So first, second, and first one looks like perfect to me, right? Perfect to me. So it is able to like match it, and it is able to give me the top result. It is able to give me the top result. Very simple, right? Very simple, very easy. And I'm able to perform the search operation. Plus it is even talking about the distance. Yeah, distance that. Okay. So with first sentence, distance from query to first sentence was this, and distance from query to second sentence, which it is giving me as an output, is this one. Okay. So pretty much justified. And yeah, so I think we all are feeling happy. We all are able to do a query inside my Chroma DB, and I'm able to even store it as a collection. Everything I'm able to do it, right? Everything I'm able to do it. Now let's talk about updating a record. So let's suppose I would like to like update some of the record. For example, so here I'm going to take maybe a sentence. I'm going to call it as a next sentence. Yeah, I'm going to take it. And here, so sentence says that Sudhanshu Kumar has completed his degree in computer science. Okay, this is my one of the sentence, and I would like to update some of the sentence with this one. So first of all, just try to convert this sentence into a embedding. So here, next sentence I'm going to next sentence I'm going to call to list and new embeddings. So next underscore sentence underscore embed embeddings. Okay, so I'm going to create it. And then I will try to update this embeddings with some existing one. Yeah, existing one. How I can do it? Simple. Collection dot, there is an update function you can try to call, and which one you would like to update. So I would like to update basically record 3, let's suppose. So I would like to like replace this record 3 with a new one. So I'm going to give an ID that, okay, so whatever data is available at this ID, just replace it. So what is the document? So document is basically a new, document is basically a next sentence. So this is going to be my document. And what is the embedding, right? So embedding wise, so just try to insert a new, or I have created next sentence embedding. Yeah. So just try to update this document and plus with this embedding at which place? At record 3 place. Simple. So record 3, whatever data is available, it will try to replace it. Maybe we can go and we can cross check. So at record 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So 3. So Danshu earned a computer science and engineering degree. Now I'm replacing this sentence with what? So with Danshu Kumar has completed his degree in computer science. So let's see whether we are going to update it or not. So executed. Now just try to call collection.get and let's see. So Sudhanshu Kumar has completed his degree in computer science. I think this was the sentence with which I have updated. So I can try to even call the update and I will be able to do whatever I want, right? I will be able to do whatever I want. Now let's suppose if I have to add some sort of a meta information. Yeah. So I have to add some sort of a meta information. How I can try to add meta information? Let me show you that part. So here I can try to call collection.add. Directly I'm going to add it. Yeah. So add what? So first of all, document means data. So data is Sudhanshu Kumar is working with Euron for now. Okay. So this is the data. Now this is the data. Then I have to pass embeddings. So here again list, generate embeddings, and I'm going to pass this data directly. This document and for this respective embeddings. Okay, respective embeddings dot to list. Fine. Respective embeddings I'm able to pass directly. I'm trying to update it. And IDs. So I'm going to like give a IDs to this one. So ID is going to be record_10, right? This is the name. I'm not keeping it dynamic. I'm just trying to hard code it. And then there is something called as metadatas, right? Metadata. So you can try to add some sort of a meta information, which will help it out in terms of doing some sort of a indexing. And even you can try to search as a search parameter, you can try to pass a meta information. That is also possible. So which is going to like, narrow down the entire search operation. So here metadata, right? And I can try to maybe like add some sort of a key and value pair. Categories, let's suppose Shudh_info. So this is the category. And then maybe like a year 2024. Yeah, 2024. So this is the year which I'm going to pass. So this is a small meta information. As you can see, I'm trying to add inside my data set, a small meta information. So any kind of a meta information that you want, you can try to add it. Now it will help you out to narrow down the search. As simple as that, just to narrow down the search at the end of the day. Simple, right? Execute it. And then if I'm going to call collection.get, so it is going to show me all the data. So it has added this as well as it has added a metadatas as well. Yeah, it has added a metadata as well. Now, how I will be able to, right? How I will be able to, do a query while passing a meta information. So to do that, I can try to call collection.query once again. And this time, so what I will do, I'll try to not just pass a query text over here. So query text, let's suppose query text is Sudhanshu is working with Euron, right? So this is basically like a query text that I have, and I would like to search what is the similar matching things which is available. I can try to control a number of results. So just try to give me a top 2 result, by the way. And here, so there is a parameter called as where. And in this particular place, I can try to give a meta information. So for example, I can try to give a meta information that only try to search in this category, right? Only try to search with whichever data record is having this one, right? Just try to search in that. Don't try to do a search. So in this case, I'm trying to run around the search. I'm trying to make it more efficient, more like a much more faster. So here, if I'm going to execute it, right? So yeah, it is trying to do the operation. Collection expecting embedding with the dimension of 1536 got 384. Oh, so it has went for the direct one. Okay. So what I can do, I can try to make it closer towards the previous one. So let me, okay, just query embeddings. Let me replace this with this one. And here, so I can try to pass basically get embeddings, and get embeddings wise, give me the embeddings of this, and then that dot to a list, simple. So here I'm just going to provide this embeddings, execute. Okay, so that's cool, right? So here you can see that it is trying to give me only one record, although I have asked for 2 results, right? But it is giving me how many record? Only 1 record. What is the reason? So the reason is very simple. It is trying to do a search only in this category. This is what I was talking about, that if you are going to categorize your data, right? If you are going to add a metadata, so you can try to write a clause with respect to your meta information, and it will just try to search that particular category. So let's suppose you have a multiple departments. You have a HR department, you have a finance department, you have a sales department, you have a marketing department. So maybe you can try to tag all the information with respect to a department. So whenever someone is trying to do a search, a query, maybe they can look into the specific department, unless and until a whole data search is not required. So in this way, you are trying to narrow down, you are trying to minimize your number of searches. So eventually a result is going to be robust and faster. That's the reason. So I have asked for 2 top results, but still it is giving me 1 because there was only 1 result, right? There was only 1 result, and it is trying to search only inside this category. I can try to even give year is equal to 2024, right? I can try to create any other kind of a meta information, and based on that, I can try to perform the exact same thing. Yeah, exact same thing. So very simple, very easy to understand, I would say. Now, so let's suppose if I have to persist this entire collection. So whatever collection that I have created, so what I want is that I should like keep it here, maybe for a future purposes. I don't want to execute or re-execute everything, because every time I have to go to URI and then create embeddings, every time I have to run the entire piece of code. But what I want is that no, just try to persist it. Let's try to persist it in a physical space. How I can do that? So here I can try to call Chroma DB.client, and inside that I can try to call Chroma DB.config.settings, right? And inside this I can try to say persist persist directory, and I can try to give a current directory chroma_db. Yeah, so this is something which I can try to create so that it will be able to persist everything to my disk. Yeah, it will try to like persist everything to my disk. Now, so let's call that. So once I'm going to call this one, it is giving me instance of Chroma already existing in the the different setting. Okay, so let me check why it is giving me this error. Okay, so it's a client conflict issue. Let me do one thing. Let me restart my kernel, and after restarting, let me execute this first. Okay, so now it's working, and I have just restarted my kernel, so I have to re-execute the entire things. So execute. Client is already created, I believe. Yeah, so client is Chroma DB client, and here, so Chroma DB Stanchu personal fine. Okay, let me call collection Chroma DB client instance of Chroma DB already exist for the employee with the different setting. Okay, so client is already available, so I can try to just client is not defined. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me restart once again. It's a client issue because I have already created a client, so it is like not allowing me to do that. So here, after restarting the kernel, I can try to treat this as a CLI ENT client. Yeah, client. Execute, no error. It is able to create the client. Now I can start like executing everything from top to bottom. Client, this one is not required. So this piece of the code is not required. I can start from here. So this is working, all will work, because if you are creating a client multiple times, then there is a issue. Otherwise, it's completely like fine. So still it is trying to generate the embeddings for me for all these 10 records. Okay, so still it is not showing me a physical file here. What I can do is I can try to give a absolute path. Let me try with that. It should show me the entire Chroma DB file. Let me restart my kernel. Now everything will be gone. And then let's try to create a client, and I will start like executing everything except the client one by one. So my collection is this. Fine. So this is my text information. This is going to take most of the time because it is trying to generate the embeddings for me. Embedding done, this done, collection.add, then count is done. Get query, still I'm not able to see. Yeah, so everything is working perfectly fine, but the only thing which I'm looking for this Chroma DB directory, so that I will be able to show you that how I'm persisting the entire information. But it is not showing me that. I think there is some issue. Let me fix it. Okay, so if I would like to like persist my data, so here is a final old style code. So I'm using like a old version, I believe, and because of that, I believe it is not allowing me. I'll have to check from my side. But yeah, I have tested with this one, and as you can see, it is able to persist the data. As simple as that. So I will be able to store my entire information even physically. You just have to call persist client, and then you can try to give a directory name of your choice, and it is going to persist the entire information inside this particular directory. Very simple and easy to implement once again. So hope all of you are able to understand the working with Chroma DB, and we are able to like create the instance client of the Chroma DB. We are able to take the data, convert that data into a respective embeddings, and again, so we are able to insert the data into the collection. We are able to even perform search operation on top of that. So almost all of these operations we are able to perform with respect to the Chroma Vector DB. So with that, guys, thank you so much everyone. Take care, and see you again in my next lecture.